your first impression, our first impression, anybody's first impression when they get into this brand new Golf R will be how everything is so well incorporated into the dashboard. I've talked about this before in my other car reviews. I like the fact that, cabin designers make everything a little bit flushed, everything seem all together, not something standing upright a little bit out of place, or something too large and doesn't look like it sort of fits into the whole ergonomics of the dashboard. But Volkswagen could have gone a little bit further and let this cowl extend here. Why? Because why? When it gets hot, you can feel the heat here. Also, when it's hot, when the sun is up, midday sun, you don't get the reflection, which is important for driver information. But they forgot about infotainment usage. But never mind, small thing, they'll improvise on it in the next model. Most important thing is the dynamics, the braking, the steering feel. Because why? We are in a Golf R, the ultimate Golf, the ultimate hot hatch. Can I use the word ultimate hot hatch? I think yes. Okay, some of you will say, this guy a little bit one-sided because he has owned a whole bunch of Volkswagen Golfs. Yes, I've owned the Golf 1, Golf 2, Golf T, but they were all GTIs. So Golf 1 GTI, Golf 2 GTI, Golf 3 GTI, Golf 4 GTI, and of course, Golf 5 GTI. But I stopped at Golf 5. Why? Because it just got too expensive for my pocket to buy. I don't have enough money to buy these cars. But when you see a Golf R on the road, this is what you will see. This is what you will hear. The excitement, the adrenaline rush. This is a potent car. This is not a car for the faint-hearted. This is a car to be driven by someone with a little bit of experience or training. Why? It's very fast, communicates well, steering response is well. The gear, the computer does everything for it. You got pedal shifters, yes. But when you want to exploit this car, it's easily exploitable because it's designed to be exploited. And when I say exploited, I'm not talking about it being abused, but enjoying it because it's a Golf R. Now, when Volkswagen designed the Golf GTI, they knew they were on a winner. Not from day one, but after that, they knew they were on a winner because it just flew off the showrooms. It was a global success. And then they said, hey, if a GTI can do so well, let's tweak the GTI and call it an R. So, came out the R. Now, the earlier Rs had big engines, 3.2, 6-cylinder, very powerful, very torquey, but very heavy. Because when you're putting a 3.2 V6 in a small hot hatch, it's front heavy. So to counterbalance that weight, you got to do a lot of suspension tuning and chassis adjustments and all that. But here comes a 2-liter 4-cylinder. So what they did, they took the already popular Golf GTI engine, which is the AAA engine, the 888 engine, which is used in so many of the Volkswagen Group products, Seat, Skoda, Audi, even Porsche. And what? Tweaked it to give it more power, more torque. I mean, this car does 0 to 100 in under 5 seconds, 4.8 seconds. Top speed is insane. Mid-range torque is insane. Now, just not a little bit of burst of speed you've been seeing, all done in eco mode. So, if I were to go into sports mode, then it'll be insane. Insane. But we're in the city. We shouldn't be doing all this in the city. Okay? So, I just want you to understand what kind of, effects comes to this car. Let me try and get on something a little bit more open. And then the seats, I must mention, beautifully sculptured bucket seats with a nice soft headrest. So it's comfortable. But also it takes up a little bit of space for the rear passenger because it's a bit bulky. You got this nice steering wheel, nice feel. You got the R logo here. You got the R logo on the instrument cluster. You got the R logo here. Now, some people will say, oh, what's with this gear shift? But you know, like with every new generation car, whether electric or ICE, gear shifters have become little knobs or switches. There's no more clunky gear shifter, which we like. Even Ferrari owners have a switch. McLaren owners, Aston Martin owners. So the whole world has gone into little buttons and switches, which is sad for us gearheads, but it's the new generation that's buying all these cars. So why has the engine note changed a little bit? Why is the car responding even more to my throttle input? Why does it feel more exciting? Because I've played around with the mode setting. You've got comfort, which is what we were in earlier. You got sport, you got race, you got individual. Now we don't want all this because this is all for track use. Race mode is for extreme. Let's go into sports mode. Engine note changes. Race, engine note changes. Now all this is coming from the exhaust. Now you might not be able to hear it in this video, but trust me, go into a showroom, get a salesman to take you out for a short test drive and use this. When you use this and then you hear all this, especially on throttle, oh, it just makes your hair stand. It just makes you want to buy this car. I'm not trying to hard sell this car, but I know a lot of you are thinking, maybe I want to buy a Civic Type R. Maybe I want to buy a GR Corolla, GR Yaris. These are the cars that compete directly with this car. Of course, you have some other Germans, but they're a bit more expensive, like the AMG cars and the BMW M cars. But when you talk about the Golf R, right now in Malaysia, its competitors are the GR Corolla, the four-door GR Corolla, and the Civic Type R. But you see so many of the Civic Type Rs on the road. They're everywhere, And then when you talk about the Corolla GR, not so common, not so often you see them, just like the Volkswagen Golf R. So the two cars that are sitting slightly out of the eye of the consumer in this market is the GR Corolla and this Golf R. The Civic Type R is just booming. Why? It's a different group of people, and it's got a manual gear shift. But we're not here to talk about the Civic Type R. If you need an automatic car like this with an automatic gearbox, a gearbox that shifts split seconds, an engine that's entertaining, a cabin that defines you right around you, wraps around you, and drive dynamics that will entertain you in the traffic jam and also on the open road, you got to take this out for a test drive to understand what I'm talking about. Only after you test drive it will you understand what I'm talking about. If you're sitting and watching a video, it just doesn't do justice. I'm just tapping the accelerator. I'm not hammering it. I'm just tapping it because this is a public road. I'm just trying to show you how easily this engine responds and how easily that gearbox shifts. And how well the brakes work. So Golf R, please, if you're in the market for something really exciting and you have the budget, just take it for a test drive. And then you decide whether it excites you enough to make that down payment. So the Volkswagen Golf R, this is not just any Volkswagen. This is not just any Golf. This is the R. R means performance version. This is like, when you talk about Mercedes and AMG, when you talk about BMW and M, when you talk about Toyota and GR, when you talk about Honda and Type R, this is Volkswagen R. Golf R. Calipers say R. The interior says R. It drives like an R. It is an R. But why do we like this car so much? And I'm not trying to do a hard sell here, because I really like this car simply because it looks great. Look at the proportions. Look at the proportions. It's just nice. It's a hatchback. I've liked hatchbacks for a long time. I used to love hatchbacks, 3 decades ago when nobody was into hatchbacks. I love hatchbacks. I think they make a lot of sense. It's got a nice big spoiler at the back, solid spoiler, not something that you just add on. Petrol, huh? Petrol, huh? The kind of cars I like, petrol powered. It's got the IQ light system. It's got a lower lip. It's got the nice R logo here, like the conventional Golf TSI and Golf GTI. It's got a sizable boot. You got a run flat, you know, space saver. Cancel the last bit, there's no run flat space saver. And very important, the exhaust system. This is the best aftermarket exhaust system probably in the world, and it comes with the Golf R. Take a closer look. Now this alone costs quite a bit of money. Then you got nice alloy wheels. Now I know the car is a little bit dirty. I know you're going to look and say, hey, the car a bit dirty. Let me tell you, it's been raining every day. I've already washed this car 3 times, and this morning it rained again. So instead of wasting time washing it again, I'm just going to do the shoot and let it finish. You're not looking at how clean or dirty the car is. It's the car. It's the Golf R. Look at that. Bucket seats, full-size bucket seats with the R logo on it. Also on the steering wheel. And then you got that lovely interior which we talked about earlier. And then like the Golf GTI, there's ample space in the back. Not difficult to get in and out. I'm an average size adult. Not difficult to get in and out. You got pockets here for your handphone, your whatever you want to bring along with you, like, you know, if you're sitting at the back of a Golf R. But you know, it's all about being entertained on the drive. I'm going to switch off the engine. I left the engine on because I wanted to hear this. Just being silly because it's a Golf R. Get in front. Got the nice blue lights, you know, slim headlamps. And here's the magic. Here's the magic show, the Golf R engine. Now basically it's the same engine as you find in the Golf GTI and a lot of the Volkswagen Group engines, the 888 like we mentioned earlier. But it's been tuned by the engineers to give that extra poke, that extra excitement. Then you got the exhaust system to add that whole visual excitement. It's a potent engine. It's a potent power plant. It's designed to entertain at every level. Even if you're a novice driver, you will learn to enjoy it as you get to know the vehicle. You need some time to get to know it. And once you know it, oh my, what entertainment. And all this from a 2-liter engine. So with a 2-liter engine, your road tax is not expensive. The fuel consumption depends on how you drive. If you're driving a car like this and you're asking me about fuel consumption, I think you can't afford the car. Let me tell you this. If you're thinking about fuel consumption issues, buy a Golf TSI. Okay? Don't come and ask me what's the fuel consumption. That means you can't afford the car. You don't want to drive the car. Because a car like this, you don't think about fuel consumption. Come on. Still, you can drive it lethargically and not waste fuel. So the Golf R, beautiful car, beautifully designed, 330,000, 5-year maintenance, 5-year warranty, 5 years of peace of mind performance car driving. Now, local assemble, 330,000 ringgit. Yes, they are rivals, but hey, it's a Golf R.